am so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to make stuffed shells, and I think I like it. Yeah. So every time I go to Chiang Mai, I get goodies. And I was able to procure some stuffed shells, which I had not seen before my last trip. Once again, Rimping, R-I-M-P-I-N-G, Rimping, I discovered 2 trips ago, and I've been a very happy boy ever since. Yeah, there's the gun show. There, yeah, there you go. Big boy. Good mozzarella cheese, better, higher grade of mozzarella than the big blocks I had been getting, kind of generic cheese. So I got 2 different types of mozzarella to stuff inside the shells. Ricotta. The reason I haven't made lasagna for myself for stuffed shells was I wasn't able to find ricotta. Now, normally you get the 1 big tub, which is 15 ounces in the U.S. This is 250 grams. So I got 2. That's 500 grams. It's about 17 and a half ounces. Close enough for rock and roll. Nobody ever said too much friggin' cheese in lasagna or stuffed shells. And even though these were like 280 something baht, I got 4 because I want to make stuffed shells, which I'm going to do today, and I'm going to make lasagna. So I actually got 4 of these suckers. So 2 for stuffed shells, 2 for lasagna. Now normally at home I'd make my own sauce. I'd get a giant can, the large can, I think it's 28 ounces of San Marzano tomatoes, whole, and then I'd get 2 smaller cans, like 12 ounces of tomato sauce, whatever one was on sale. Oh, hello. How are you? Oh, you can't even see her. 4'9", you can't even see her. That's awesome. 2 cans of the tomato sauce, like 12 ounces, and then 1 can, small can, I think it's 6 ounces of tomato paste. And then you put the tomato paste in and then fill it with a can of water, maybe sometimes 2 cans of water, then the sauce, and then the tomatoes whole. As you cook that down with some garlic and olive oil in a big pot, the tomatoes will break apart. So that's your sauce. But being here in Thailand, not having a home kitchen, just having to cook on the 1 super burner stove, I wussied out and just got jar-made sauce, Prego. That was in Macro. They have that in Macro. Macro is like the big box store, so they had everything there. But Rimping was responsible for the better cheese, the stuffed shells, the ricotta, and I also stepped up my Parmesan game. This is a lot better than the stuff in the shaker. So I also bought the pan 2 times ago because I knew I wanted to make lasagna, so I bought a little lasagna pan. It would not fit in our regular little toaster oven that we toast our hot dog buns and stuff with, but fortunately they did have a big boy, which it will go inside the big boy. I just had to bring this sucker down from up there. How the girls who work here, now I know it was Oo. It had to be Oo because she's about 5'7". Nui is about the same size as my girl. So it had to be Oo who put that up there because Nui's not tall enough to reach it. And this thing's it's a friggin' monster. I took it down, I'm like, oh, you know? I mean, it was... Oo is amazing. Not only is she a hard worker, she's a very strong girl. But that's it. I'm gonna make the stuffed shells. I'm not gonna show you boiling water, but I will show you after the shells have boiled and cool. And you cook them 1 to 2 minutes less than the package because you're going to be baking them for 30 minutes in the oven. So you not only al dente, but 1 to 2 minutes shy of the instructions on the package for al dente. For the noodles. That's one last little tip for you, is undercook them a bit. It's okay for them to go in hard because they are going to cook for 30 minutes. And it's really simple, lasagna or stuffed shells. You put the sauce down first, you grease the saucepan. At home I would just use non-stick cooking spray because I always had some on my stove. That was just the kind of thing I always had in my kitchen. Here I'm going to use butter because, you know, that's what I got. So butter the pan, put the sauce down, put the shells, stuff them with the tablespoon, and once again I'll show you that. I'll shred the cheese and mix the ricotta. You put an egg in there and some Italian seasoning, and I'll show you that bowl of stuffing basically. cook the shells, let them cool a little bit, and then take a tablespoon and stuff the shells with the mix and put them on top of the sauce bed. Then put a little more sauce on top, and of course more cheese. Gotta have more cheese. You're supposed to bake it with tin foil for about 20 minutes. I don't even know if we have tin foil here, to be honest with you. That's not really a thing in Thailand. I haven't seen aluminum foil since I've been here. I'll check. I'll look around the kitchen. I'll ask the girlfriend. But I'm not sure they even have it here. So anyway, I'll cook the shells. Like I said, you don't really need to see that. I'll make the stuffing, which is just combining the ingredients, shredding the cheese, adding the ricotta, adding an egg, and some seasoning. And I'll kick the video back on. Alrighty, so where we're at is the shells just came out. They took a long time to cook, even on super burner back there. And I can only cook up about a half a batch. It was 500 grams of shells. So I cooked up half, which is this many. I think that's going to be plenty for my size pan. I greased it with butter, like I said, and the little white specks are cheese because I grated the cheese in that as my container, whereas I probably should have just grated it in the bowl, but I wasn't sure I was going to use any. Chai, big oven. I need big oven. I'll show you. Look, look. Hey, Chai, over here. No good. No good. Chai. The good news is we found the aluminum foil top wrap. Only the best will very do. I used half of the packet. It was 100 grams of Parmesan cheese. I used half in here. So you got your parm. There we go. Parm, mozzarella, ricotta, seasonings. I used pepper and combined Italian seasoning, 1 egg, Maggi sauce, no salt. Even back home, and I left some of the mozzarella out to put on top, like I talked about, in little hunks. Even back home, I didn't put salt in here. You know, I use Maggi now instead of salt. You know, try to be a little bit healthier. But even back home, I didn't put salt in because you got Parmesan cheese, which is very salty, mozzarella, and ricotta, which are a little salty. So what I would recommend is make the mix up, stuff 1 shell, and cook it. Hell, I'd even microwave it just so that it's cooked quickly. And then just taste it to see if you like the seasoning, and then add salt only if you think it's bland. If you use a garlic product, like McCormick garlic and herb, salt-free, that plus the Italian seasoning plus the pepper, in my opinion, is enough spice. And then I added Maggi because, once again, Maggi makes everything taste more like itself. So it's going to make the cheese taste more like cheese without adding salt. It's a soy product. There's no salt in it. So this is cooling down. Like I said, it took a long time. It's probably 20 minutes to boil. So I'm going to go ahead and put the bottom layer of sauce in the pan. And then as soon as these cool, another couple of minutes. I mean, actually, they're ready now. I'll start stuffing them. What the hell? Let me grab a tablespoon real quick. I wasn't planning on stuffing them. I was just giving you a quick update, but they cooled down pretty fast. So just grab your shell. Let me mix up my mixture because I left it separate, the ingredients, so I could show you everything that was in there. So I'll just go in there and give it a quick stir. Distribute that Maggi throughout the cheese. Get the mozzarella, and I shredded the mozzarella. I used a little grated shredder, grater, box, whatever you have, box grater, shredder. That mixes better with the ricotta, in my opinion. And then once again, 50 grams, which you can just put that in a converter, calculator, Google grams to ounces to find out how much 50 grams is. I used half the packet, so I'll have half to make my I might make another batch. I started cooking the other shells. Like I said, this was half the pack. Like, what am I going to do with that? And my concern was that I'd have more stuffing left, but now that I'm looking at it, I probably won't. So I'll just take those cooked shells and throw them in a bag or at a container after they cool down, and throw those in the fridge and make up another batch sometime, because I really do want lasagna. And I only got the 4 containers of ricotta. 2 of them went in here. So, all right, it's mixed up pretty good. I don't see one individual ingredient anymore poking its ugly head out. It's what they like to say in the streets of Jersey, homogeneous. So, gonna grab the little greased sheet pan, get my Prego. Wednesdays are Prego spaghetti day, according to the commercials from when I was a kid. And I'm just gonna put a nice little, cover the bottom basically. No holes. Pretty good layer. I used, you can see, almost 2/3 of the jar. Wop. Wop, wop, a wop, 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 a tutti frutti. And then if you're Italian, like me, all right, I'm Irish, but here's what the Italians do. Take a little extra virgin olive oil and just sprinkle that along the top. And if you're just using tomatoes as opposed to a prepared tomato sauce, now is a good time to hit that with some seasoning. So I'll do a little crushed ground black pepper. Add a little of that garlic seasoning. It just helps the sauce out, you know, especially because it's store-bought sauce. The fresh ground black pepper will make it taste fresh, because it's fresh. It does already have seasonings in it, the Prego. It's got Italian sausage and garlic, so it's already got some flavorings in it. All right, without further ado, we take our little tablespoon, and that's too much, I'll tell you right now. Take your little shell and just, it's not too much. There you go. I love it. That's a Greg shell right there, stuffed to the friggin' gills. And then you want to, you know, peak it a little bit. You want to give it a little something, kind of like doing deviled eggs. Really, stuffed shells are nothing more than the pasta version of deviled eggs. I'm trying to get that. Yeah, there you go. Like a quenelle, as fancy Mike Smithkow would say. He's got his own cooking channel, so he's fancy. Same thing, just tablespoon. I put the, I lose half of the stuffing. I put half the back of the spoon into the shell and then kind of turn it like that. And that, you know, that's going to fill the inside. Pretty good. And then top it off. Get that little peak. And you can go further. You can stuff these more than that. But what I like to do is get all the shells stuffed with something and then go back over and top off with anything I have left over. And you can see it's way harder to cook in film than it is to cook. I'll tell you that right now. See how the just kind of touching, butting up against each other. Just laying them out like that, and then into the oven. Once I cover it, I'm going to put the cheese on. You know, the hunks of cheese, the little chunk of cheese will just go on the top. But I'm waiting to see how much I fill them until they're all filled. Like I said, until all my stuffing is gone, because I can add more to those too. I'm not sure yet until I get done with everything. And then put the cheese on, put the foil on, and for 20 minutes in a 350 oven, cook it, then go and take the foil off, and for the last 10 to 15 minutes, it depends, keep your eye on it, bake it uncovered with no foil on the top, and that's what's going to melt that top layer of mozzarella. That's why I reserve some mozzarella and put it on the top, because that's going to get nice and brown and crunchy like a lasagna. All right, So let me finish my assembly line, and when it's ready to go in the oven, I'll show it to you before I put the foil on. And then when I take it out, I'll show you the results of that also. Okay, kiddies, they're all done. It's a lot of manual labor. Damn. Damn. Well, that's what they look like. Pretty in a row. They got the sauce on. You just use the same tablespoon that you used for the filling to pour a little sauce on the top. Then I put the little cubes of mozzarella, slices of mozzarella on top. Same thing as the stuffing. I use 2 for every one, and then, you know, when I had left over, I went ahead and put 3. I think every one's got 3 except these 2 here. And I do have more mozzarella. I wound up only using 1 block of it, so I could go get more mozzarella. We do have a leftover situation here with the shells, because you can see the pan is full, and I'm out of sauce. I used that whole jar of sauce on that, and they are swimming in sauce, because admittedly I like to use a lot of sauce, so that's on me. But I do have 2, 4, 6, 8 shells left here, and I have some stuffing left over. It wouldn't be 8 big full cheese bombs like I like, but I could probably fill those 8 shells like a normal person would. So what I'm going to do now is make up a quick and dirty sauce. We have spaghetti pomodoro. I don't care for the sauce that they make here. They're time-tested, true recipe. So what I'll do is maybe take some of that sauce and doctor it, whatever. Find a smaller vessel that will hold those 8. Go ahead and stuff them and cook them also. Might as well. And then I have the whole leftover other half of the package I cooked. And like I said, these are cool. I'll just put them in a container and save them for like the next time I go to Chiang Mai, and I can pick up more ricotta. I bought 4. I should have bought 8. That way I could have just made more stuffed shells and froze them, or made the cooked stuffed shells and put them in the fridge. But I do want lasagna, so I'm refraining from making more, because I'm going to be good. I mean, I'll probably eat 6 of these suckers, maybe 8. But still, that's minimum 2 servings, even for a big sweat hog like me. So I'll pop on the video real quick when they're done, when they come out of the oven. Once again, I'm going to put the foil on them. We did have foil, yay. And you know, I knew I could get foil in Thailand. It was a question of, did the shop have it? I wasn't going to go out and buy it just for this. So we got the foil. I'm putting it on now. 20 minutes. 350 for you here. If you're overseas, it's 175 degrees Celsius. It's the same as 350. All right, that's it. After 10 minutes of being uncovered with the foil, that's how she came out. Nice, ooey, gooey, bubbly. It's mad hot, as you can imagine, after baking for 30 minutes. So I'm going to let it sit and rest a little bit before I eat it. But, you know, puddles of sauce and cheese, that's what I call a good time. You know, it's the little things in life that make you happy. I don't remember the last time I had stuffed shells. Much easier to cook back in Jacksonville, but, you know, it's just not something you make every day, especially a big plate load like that. Oh my God. That ricotta is really good, because that's obviously the key ingredient. So don't cheap out and get Walmart ricotta. Spend a dime and get something, you know, if not imported, at least a good quality ricotta. But that is amazing. This is lunch today. Yeah, I'm still doing the juice. But man, oh man, this is so good. Creamy, smooth. It is salty because of the Parmesan. Remember, I didn't add any salt. A lot of flavor in that sauce, because I put the Italian seasoning in it, plus the garlic and herb, plus the fresh ground black pepper. When I make my own sauce, I would put olive oil in the bottom of the pan and put garlic in there and cook that out first so the oil would infuse with garlic, and then put my tomato products in. But I'm pretty damn happy. This is good stuff. So, stuffed shells. It's like manigot. If you ever had manicotti, we call it in Jersey manigot. It's the same thing, just instead of a tube, it's in a shell. So, delicious. Cheese, and more cheese. Had pasta. How can you go wrong? I'm gonna chow down. That's it. That's stuffed shells, homemade. Well, hey, homemade. I bought the pasta. I bought the sauce. So about the only thing I combined ingredients to make the stuffing. So, but it's delicious.